Hello and welcome to CE3105 Fluid Mechanics Laboratory. My name is Venki Edamari. I'm a professor in Civil Environmental and Construction Engineering here at Texas Tech, where I also direct the Texas Tech University Water Resources Center. My office is located in room 203D in the Civil Engineering Building, which is the Water Resources Suite. The teaching assistants for this class are Ms. Ghazal Mohammadi, who is a PhD student, and Ms. Maranjali Gonzalez Cruz, who is also another PhD student, and their offices are in room 4 in civil engineering. In addition, Mr. Farhan Prast will probably be a guest or a substitute assistant as necessary, and he's also in room 4. The CE3105 Fluid Mechanics Laboratory is basically an extension of your CE3305 Mechanics of Fluids class. We do a set of experiments to basically reinforce the concepts of fluid mechanics that you learned in the Mechanics of Fluids class. We have a set of 8 experiments designed that we will do throughout the semester. But of course, before we start doing any of those experiments, it's important to be aware of some of the safety principles and protocols that you have to follow in the lab. So laboratory safety is of paramount importance in the fluids laboratory, or the CE3105 Mechanics of Fluids laboratory. As students, you are required to adhere to all safety protocols and procedures while on the laboratory. And of course, if you choose not to do that, you may not be allowed to participate in future experiments, which invariably will get you a failing grade in the class, which you don't want. And also, you may be reported to appropriate authorities, because there are Texas Tech policies that govern safety. So safety is not only important for your own safety, but also to make sure that we are in compliance with Texas Tech University policies. So the consequences of not following safety rules is pretty severe, but the safety rules are not too difficult to follow, so we haven't had any problem in the past, and I hope we'll not have any problems with this class as well. In terms of our fluids lab, obviously we'll be dealing a lot with water. And of course, all our instruments run on electricity. So the biggest thing to keep in mind is that water and electricity don't mix well. So keep water away from the electric connections so that there is no short circuiting or there is no electric shock to anybody. So the paramount or the key requirement there is to ensure that there is no water being spilled or water being getting close to the electric connections. And if it does happen, you will be required to leave the lab, and we will you will be allowed to come back in when things are again safe. So if you do see that, please make sure that you report it, and as far as possible, our electric connections are in a way that water shouldn't be getting there, but if it does, you will be directed to leave the lab, and then we will take care of it and bring you back into the lab when it is safe to do so. And of course, common sense is very important when handling equipment. So obviously, we don't want water to spill or water to squirt out, and so please handle the equipment as directed by your teaching assistants or your instructors, so that there is no unwanted spill or leak or any other untoward incident in the lab. So the key again is not to mix water with electricity, and exercise common sense when using or handling equipment. The safety rules for the lab basically is the instructors and the assistants have the final say with regards to the safety rules. So you are required to follow their instructions. It's just like flying in a plane, where the plane staff has the final say on what's safe and what's not safe, or what's allowed and what's not allowed. You are required to wear closed-toe shoes at all times. So I know this is still summer. So if you're running around in sandals, please bring or open toe shoes, please bring a pair of closed toe shoes with you and wear them when you're in the lab. Same thing, you have to wear full length trousers, full pants, no shorts at all times. So again, if you plan to be in shorts for the rest of the day, come to the class with a pair of trousers and then change back after the lab is over. But while you're in the lab, you have to be in full pants and in closed-toe shoes. Use safety goggles as appropriate and when asked to do so. Again, this is required. So there could be a chance that water may squirt out and then might get into your eyes, and so we don't want things like that to happen. So if they do happen, which we don't expect to, but if they do happen, we want to protect your eyes. So you will be required to wear safety goggles as appropriate and when asked to do so. Again, do not touch or operate instruments on your own unless you're directed by the instructor. So this is again a required policy, and there is no food or drink in the laboratory. That includes bottled water. So if you have food or drink with you, leave them in your backpack so that it's away, or leave them outside the lab so that it's not inside the laboratory. Okay. Follow other instructions and guidelines that are set forth by the instructor. So for certain labs, we may have some additional rules that needs to be followed. But again, the final say is with what the instructor and the teaching assistants are telling you with regards to the safety. And you have to comply to all safety procedures and rules that are set forth for this lab. Again, you'll be asked to leave the lab if you fail to comply, and you'll be given a 0 for that lab. So then there could be additional reporting that could happen depending on the severity of the violation. So let's just be safe. It's part of engineering. It's part of engineering is to do things correctly and with high accuracy, and also ensuring that we have the highest standards of safety. So the rules are pretty simple because mostly we'll be dealing with water and not other chemicals. We will be using a few other fluids as part of some of the labs, but in general, we are not dealing with hazardous substances or toxic substances. So the rules are fairly simple to follow, and most of them are just built on common sense and to avoid any untoward incident in case there is an accident or a spill associated with it in the lab. Laboratory training, you have to complete 2 modules of laboratory training. This is the Texas Tech Lab Safety and Texas Tech Safety Awareness. And you must complete this training before performing any experiments in the lab. So the next week of the lab, by when you get into the lab and are beginning your experiment, which is the week 3 of your class, you need to make sure that you have complied and completed all mandatory training. You need to take this training and upload the evidence of completion in the Blackboard for the class. There is a folder and called the safety training certificates. So make sure that you upload your safety training certificates here. Please make sure to put your name on the file, which makes it easier for the instructors to look who took it. So please do label those files or name those files appropriately when you upload, so that it has your last name and your first name. It is so the certificates are due 9th by 8 a.m. So please don't wait till the last minute. Take care of this early. It is possible that you may have taken this training for another lab, say a solids lab or a geotech lab, and as long as those certificates are valid till the end of the semester, which is December 11th, if you have validity, you don't need to retake the training. You can upload them as long as they are valid till the end of the lab. So if they are valid only for a month, say till September or like an end of October, then please retake the training so that you are in compliance over the entire length of the lab. So if you have taken this training before, check to make sure that the validity goes all the way till December 11th, which is the last class day. And then if it is for the semester, and if it is, then you should be fine. You can upload those, and if they're not, then retake the training so that you're in compliance over the entire semester. How to access the training? You need to go to http www.departments.ttu ehs training /index.php, and then follow the instructions that are shown in the next two slides. So if you go to training, EHS, like an environmental health and safety website of Texas Tech, and go to training, you will see a screen like this, which is the online training, and you request your training. Okay, so you need to have your e-rater to request training, which I'm assuming all of you do. Again, the website for the training is shown above, and when you go to the training, you will receive a link. You will receive an email with the required link for taking classes. So you fill out your names or numbers. This will probably come in filled out, and then, or if not fill out, you will designate yourself as student. You will put the faculty number, the course number, and select the Texas Tech Lab Safety and Texas Tech Safety Awareness. Okay, so make sure that you are selecting these two, and then you hit submit, and then you will be enrolled for training. So the two steps are: first, go to the website and request training, and you will receive an email, and the email in the email you check what training you want to take. You want to take Texas Tech Lab Safety and Texas Tech Safety Awareness, so remember that there are other safety, like you can see forklift safety, forklift safety, and several other type safeties. Excuse me. Those are not required for, or compressed gas safety, those are not required for us. So please make sure that you are checking the Texas Tech Lab Safety and Texas Tech Safety Awareness. So closing, safety is paramount to civil engineering practice, and it's paramount to this lab. Safety principles are mostly based on common sense, but you need to adhere to them at all times. Okay, so there are no exceptions to safety. You are required to wear closed-toe shoes and full-length trousers in the lab, and there is no food or drink allowed in the lab, so please leave your food or drink outside, or so that there is no open food or drink or in your backpack, if you can. Your instructors and TAs have the final say with regards to your lab safety, and you are required to comply with their determination. So what they determine to be safe is what you need to do. Okay, you are required to complete the safety training, and the two modules that you need to do are the Texas Tech University Lab Safety and Texas Tech University Safety Awareness. Those are the two modules. You need not take training if you had prior training, which is valid till the end of the semester. So valid till the end of the semester, that is through December 11, 2019, is the key. So if your training ends somewhere in the middle of the semester, please make sure that you take the training so that you're in compliance throughout the semester. So with those safety principles, in mind, I wish you all to have a safe laboratory experience this semester, and I look forward to seeing you in the lab next week. Thank you.